The ancient seat of power of the Aurelian Dominion had endured for more than 12,000 years. Forged from a single shard of obsidian crystal drawn from the heart of a dying star, the throne symbolized absolute authority. Nearly 50,000 star systems bent to its will. More than 200 sentient species pledged obedience to whoever sat upon it. On this day, Sovereign Maurix X waited. The grand chamber stretched nearly a kilometer in every direction, its vaulted ceiling projecting living starfields from across Dominion space. Pillars of alloyed steel and light rose like monuments to conquest. Delegates from every subject race stood in ceremonial galleries, adorned in elaborate regalia. This was no ordinary gathering. After generations of silence, humanity had finally agreed to appear. For nearly a century, humans had expanded quietly along the galaxy's furthest edges. They settled ruined systems and hostile worlds no one else wanted, scorched planets, frozen spheres, unstable regions abandoned by others. The Dominion observed them with mild curiosity. They were young, unsophisticated. In time, they would learn their place, but humanity kept spreading. Trade vessels bearing human markings began appearing in neutral ports. Their colonies multiplied. And still, they never once petitioned the Dominion. No requests for protection, no offers of tribute. No acknowledgement of imperial authority at all. It was as if the greatest empire in known space simply didn't exist. Maurix decided to end the anomaly. A formal summons was dispatched to Terra, courteous, unmistakable, and non-negotiable. And now, at last, they had arrived. The massive doors at the far end of the chamber parted. 5 figures entered, only 5. They were human, unarmored, unadorned, and utterly unremarkable. At their head walked an older woman, silver threaded through dark hair, her expression calm and unreadable. No insignia marked her rank. No weapon rested at her side. The 4 who followed her carried themselves the same way, quiet, observant, unafraid. As they crossed the chamber, silence fell. Every sensor tracked them. Every defense system could have erased them in an instant. Yet they walked as if strolling through a park, unhurried and unconcerned. They stopped at the ceremonial distance. The woman inclined her head, not submission, merely courtesy. Envoy Mara Kessler, the herald announced, representative of the human coalition. Maurix studied her carefully. He had ruled through uprisings and extinctions. He could read fear across 1,000 forms of life. In her, he found nothing. You stand at the center of civilization, he said. Few are granted such honor. We acknowledge the courtesy, she replied evenly. Maurix spoke of humanity's endurance, their expansion, their resilience. Then he delivered the offer: tributary integration, military service, economic levies, and in return, protection, technology, and representation. It was the same offer that had built an empire. The chamber waited. Envoy Kessler listened, then spoke. We thank the Dominion, she said, but we must decline. The silence that followed was absolute. Clarify, Maurix said slowly. These terms conflict with human self-determination. We bear no hostility, but we will not submit. Shock rippled through the chamber. Refusal had never occurred here. You invite consequences, a chancellor warned. We are aware, she replied calmly. Our decision is deliberate. Maurix leaned forward, ancient eyes narrowing. Every civilization requires protection. We are comfortable with our level of risk. And if your refusal is unacceptable, she met his gaze without hesitation, then you will act as you see fit, and so will we. She bowed again, turned, and the humans walked out without a backward glance. Maurix watched the doors seal behind them. Learn everything about them, he ordered. And dispatch our envoy to their cradle world. The envoy arrived on Terra confident the task would be trivial. He found something else entirely. Humanity had no single ruler. Authority was dispersed through councils, assemblies, and collective decisions. Negotiations were slow, fractured, inconvenient, and utterly resistant. Every proposal he offered was considered carefully and declined. Reduced tribute, declined. Military exemptions, declined. Technology transfers beyond imagination, declined. They wanted nothing. When he hinted at consequences, they listened politely. When he referenced civilizations erased for defiance, They nodded with mild concern. When he spoke of fleets capable of shattering worlds, they asked about local customs and offered him coffee. Months passed. No defenses rose. No evacuations began. Life continued uninterrupted. He returned home empty-handed. The Dominion responded with force. The Fourth Armada descended over a modest human colony world. 500 warships filled the sky. An ultimatum was broadcast: submit or be destroyed. The humans declined. A moon was annihilated as demonstration. The response was not panic, but paperwork. A formal insurance claim submitted to interstellar authorities for unauthorized destruction of property. The Armada descended lower. Weapons locked onto cities. Another transmission arrived, politely requesting the fleet relocate from civilian transit lanes or submit the proper occupancy permits. For 3 days, the fleet waited. Nothing changed. Life went on. Confusion turned to unease. Intelligence divisions were unleashed. Patterns emerged: collapsed empires along human expansion routes, financial discrepancies, encrypted systems beyond Dominion capability. Then an old archive surfaced. A civilization erased centuries earlier. Their final message warned of humanity. Not conquerors, not tyrants. Something patient. Something prepared. The Emperor listened as the intelligence chief laid it all bare. "They do not seek dominion," she said. "They seek autonomy, and they prepared for anyone who would deny it. Withdraw the fleets," she advised, "or we risk learning why they are unafraid." The Emperor chose another path. He summoned the human envoy, alone, no throne, no rituals, just 2 chairs. "I do not understand your people," he admitted. "We are not simple," she replied. He asked about their hidden strength. "Yes," she said, "it exists. What happens if I attack?" She met his gaze. "You would discover why we were never frightened." He chose restraint. The Dominion acknowledged human independence. No tribute, no levies, no interference. The envoy departed quietly, high above, her vessel prepared to jump. A message confirmed de-escalation protocol 18. She erased it unread. Some contingencies, she reflected, were best left unused. The galaxy remained vast and uncertain, but that day 2 civilizations chose something rare. They chose restraint. They chose peace. And for the first time in 12,000 years, an empire learned that true power was not the ability to dominate, but the wisdom to stop.